If the first game breaks, we'll get you know it up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, through the games after this win it. Rush it again, we're here for the first May. Can everybody keep it there for 6 minutes?
Rocky Top! You'll always be.
Just look around. You got the mountains, you got the most beautiful city in the whole entire country. The university is absolutely, looks like it's out of a storybook. It's just beautiful. People are incredibly genuine and extremely nice. It's just a place that obviously I'd want my kids to go to school. And it sells itself. You don't have to sell anything about this place. You just got to get them here. You know, the old field of dreams. Yeah. Build it and they will come. It's already built.
Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, I mean, obviously, we've spent, 4 years, trying to change the culture, trying to instill in these young men how blessed they are, to have an opportunity to play somewhere like the University of Tennessee. And what an honor it is to have that T on the side of your helmet, and that we're always playing for something bigger than us individually.
Who got my back? I got your back. Who got my back? I got your back. Who got my back? I got your back. We play for another. We fight for another. Every fight, every play, every round. Hey, Tennessee on 2. 1, 2. Tennessee. Ball, that team ready. Ready. Ball, that team ready. Ready. Ball, that team ready. Ready.
What is going on? Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's BoogieBentley. Hope you guys are having a good Monday morning. It is hard, man, it's hard to believe it's November. How many days until Thanksgiving? How many days until Christmas? How many days does my wife have left to Christmas shop? Because we all know Boogie's not doing any Christmas shopping around here. That's my wife's shop. She does a great job. I tell her, just do it on Amazon. Like, how hard is it to go on Amazon? I do it every day. I buy something on Amazon every single day. It's not that hard. But it's hard to believe we've only got 4 games left on the year, man. 4 games left on the year. I was kind of thinking about it before we went live, and gosh, go back to preseason when we're talking about the hype and the expectations and the goals for this football team. And if I told you we were going to be sitting here in the first week of November with wins over Oklahoma, Florida, and Alabama, I bet you would probably be sitting there thinking, man, I bet this offense is clicking. I bet Nico's the man, Nico for Heisman. I bet we're probably undefeated if you look at it that way. But, man, still everything in front of us. I'm excited to talk a little Tennessee football, get Cainer on here in just a second. Let's see who is in the chat. Come on in, smash the thumbs up, share the link, let people know we're live. We would appreciate that. If you feel so kind, you can drop a door fee or a tip in the tip jar. But if not, hang out. We'll talk some ball football. Vols Girl is here. Says her ears are still ringing. How loud it was Saturday night. Neyland loud. D, the big orange trucker, is here. Says, good morning. What's going on? Tim Rice is in the house. What's up, Tim? Todd Landers is here. Said, good Vol morning. It's always a good Monday morning after a win over the weekend. Joey Carroll is here. What's up, brother? Teddy Sutherland is in the house. Corey is here. Vintage Creative is here. Says, morning, guys. Can't wait to be in Neyland this weekend. Hopefully we see some fireworks this weekend. I feel like it's Groundhog Day. Dave Morrison, been a member of the channel for 17 months. Shout out, Dave. We appreciate that support. If you don't have a Power T beside your name, they say that you're a Florida Gators fan. I don't know that that's true, but you can fix it by hitting the join button. Let's get into it. Let's get Cainer on here. Let's talk a little ball football. Let's talk about the win over Kentucky. It's Groundhog's Day.
You are Locked On Vols, your daily podcast on the Tennessee Volunteers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I need the clip from Groundhog Day. I should have gone and got that because it feels like, even didn't Heupel, I think it was on the Josh Heupel show. He said it feels like Groundhog Day. But Cainer, I'll take it. I'll take a win. When Groundhog Day is a win, I'll take it every single day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote my rewatch piece yesterday, and one of my three keys was the defense wasn't that sharp. And then I'm sitting here like, whoa, hang with me here. Ninth straight game, you hold the opponent under 20 points. You force 2 turnovers in the third quarter that lead to 14 points. Yeah, if that's a bad day, sign me up. I mean, this is a pretty good football team, and the offense starts slow, but comes on strong at the end. I thought the quarterback was great. So, again, we say the same song and dance every week, it feels like. This team can be so much better, and it feels like it's close, but I know people are getting tired of that. But at the end of the day, you're still winning football games, so you don't apologize for it.
Yeah, like it's funny you mentioned in the defense and not playing that great because Coach Jay said that post game, and I was kind of sitting there thinking, not play like they won the game. What are you talking? But then it's true, right? Especially if you look at those first 2 drives, Tennessee gave up a ton of yardage, but when push came to shove, the defense stepped up. The defense made plays, and that's now we're looking for that from the offense, right? Now we need the offense to step up and make plays. Marcus Rush drops a $5 super chat. Says, Dorothy, happy Monday, Vol fam. Thank you, Marcus. We appreciate the tip in the tip jar. Kevin Smith drops a 20 spot. That's Orange Boy. We play the clip for Orange Boys.
Rocky Top!
Kevin for 20 says LFGBO. What does that mean, Cainer? Do you know what LFGBO? I don't know what that means.
I know what it means.
Do you? I don't know. But he says balls just keep getting better every week. Bring
just
on
use
the
your
Bulldogs.
imagination. You got it.
Oh, I know exactly what it means, Cainer. Come on. Did you just wake up and jump in the shower? Did you just wake up?
Well, I mean, you're a couple years older than me, so I didn't know if you got that lingo or not. So
A couple?
just a couple.
A couple?
Just a couple.
Couple decades. Michael Holt for 5 says, if you don't have a Power T beside your name, you are a Florida Gator fan. That sounds legit to me. Look, guys, I don't make the rules around here. You guys make the rules, and then I just enforce them. That's what you all said. I didn't say it. You all said it. Nelson, I think this is his first I was going to say first super chat in history, but now my phone says it's his 10th super chat, so I'm sorry, Nelson. He says $2 towards a can of Stickum for the wide receiver room. Look, we say it every single week. Groundhog Day. It's getting repetitive here. And I kind of brought up a question last night in our fan call-in show. It's the same thing every week. The offense is playing good. They're so close. They're getting better every week. Oh, they're getting better. They're getting better. Is this just who we are? Like, is this just who we are? We win on defense. The offense is going to shoot themselves in the foot and make mistakes. After it happens 3-4 games in a row, kind of what this football team looks like.
Yeah, I mean, until proven otherwise, this is exactly who you are. You're a team that is capable of doing some great things offensively, but not, just being good enough and not starting fast. And you got a defense that's really good. You got a defense that on a bad day is good enough to hold an opponent under 20 points. A defense that'll take the football away. A defense that plays a lot of different guys. Now, you go on the road to Georgia or you play other college football playoff caliber team. Hell, you play Vanderbilt at the end of the year. And I'm not saying that they're a college football playoff caliber team, but obviously Vanderbilt's not the Vanderbilt of old this year. And you don't finish in the red zone. You go 4-7 in the red zone and you miss 3 field goals and you wait until the second quarter to score a touchdown and you give up chunk play after chunk play defensively. You're going to get beat. But you didn't the other night, and that's a win. Obviously, you chalk it up and you try to get better. So, yeah, I think right now you kind of are who you are, but I said this after the game, like, I hate saying fans should be encouraged because, again, this has been the same thing for 3 weeks, but look at the quarterback, most important piece. He was so good. He played his best game in a Tennessee uniform. That gets you feeling good heading into the next week, right? That your quarterback's playing well. So hopefully that entire offense can kind of kick it in gear a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Nico, like just the throws he made, man. And I think you brought one up on the Rocky Top Rewind, the throw to Thornton on the outside, just the location, just perfect, man. Perfect ball placement. And it felt like he started to get that confidence back, and now we're seeing him continue to grow in that confidence. I talked about happy feet a few weeks ago, and after the Arkansas game, maybe even starting in the Oklahoma game, he just didn't feel comfortable in the pocket. He doesn't appear to be that way anymore. He seems poised, calm, collected, making plays, making throws. Now your receivers got to go make the plays. And again, something I kind of brought up last night, like we're 8 games into the season. We got 4 games left, and I'm kind of like, at what point do we just give up and say this is just who we are? How do you fix it? How do you fix John Campbell getting his 1-2 holding calls every game? How do you fix dropped passes? Do you just take your wide receivers and go, boys, you're not doing anything at practice today. You're just going to go over here to the jugs machine and you're going to catch balls till your hands bleed. Like, can you fix it? Is it coaching or is it just guys executing? Kaner, make it make sense because I can't figure this out.
Well, I think the offensive staff done a pretty nice job making some adjustments here the last few weeks. Nico's been out of the pocket a whole lot more. You're not throwing 20-yard digs in every single time. I mean, you're not throwing the ball. I mean, you're still taking some shots when presented, but you're throwing more to the sideline. You're rolling them out. You're throwing some more screen. Like, you're not trying to go for the home run every single play. And I think that's what they were trying. They were so stubborn and throwing the ball downfield. And don't get me wrong, like I want that to be this offense, but it wasn't working. And so you're helping your young quarterback out. You're helping the receivers out a little bit. And so I think they've done a nice job the last couple of weeks in doing that. And Nico's played well the last 6 quarters. He's playing really, really well. As far as the drops, man, I have no clue. I'm not a wide receiver. I have no clue how to fix that. I mean, you got to keep throwing it to him, right? I mean, you got to keep throwing it to him. And the sad thing is, everybody's going to remember what Ches Nimrod, that drop that should have been a touchdown on just a gorgeous throw in a tight window post over the middle. I thought he had a pretty good game up until that point, man. He made a couple of nice catches on the sideline. Chris Bryce on the end zone. That's the thing, man. I know it's been said ad nauseum since the game, but like Nico was 28 of 38, 292 and a touchdown. He could have threw for over 400 yards easily and 4 touchdowns easily if his guys helped him out some. So it's frustrating a little bit. But I do think the coaching staff's done a nice job with the play calling to kind of help Nico out the last couple of weeks and to also help that offensive line out a little bit as well. But overall, you just got to go out there and execute. And I have no clue why this team can't start faster. I mean, again, we're same position, right? I mean, it's a missed field goal in the opening possession. It's not a fumble, but I mean, Tennessee is driving the football, had almost 500 yards total offense. Like, you go 4 of 7 in the red zone, 4 of 8. I'm not counting that last kneel down. You're going to lose at Georgia. Like, you've got to find a way to finish. Brent Hubbs brought this up on the rewind last night, and it's a really good point. I didn't really think about it. When Tennessee gets inside the 10-yard line, they're good. They're scoring. It's whenever they get inside the 25 to 10, it's like, just can't really figure it out. And that's got to change because your defense is the only reason you're where you are right now. Your defense is the only reason you won the game the other day because of the 2 turnovers. But I mean, even like you saw on Saturday, they weren't their best. Georgia would make them pay if they play like that against Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's kind of a head scratcher, but still, end of the day, you are 7-1. You're right in the middle of playoff conversations. Even if you lose another game, not saying you will, but you're still very much in the field of battle to get in the college football playoff. So you are in a great position, and you control your own destiny.
Let me hit a couple of super chats real quick. Brandon Coleman, nothing to say, just a tip in the tip jar. Drops a $5 super chat. Follows that up by becoming a member of the channel. He couldn't take it, Kaner. He said, how dare you call me a Florida fan? I will join the channel right now. I will become a member. Shout out, Brandon. We appreciate the support. Don't give a chit. I love this. That's his name. He wants me to cuss every time he drops a super chat. And he does so regularly, so he enjoys it. And then for 5, he says, Dorfy, it's JT from Illinois. How's it going, fellas? Well, it's going great. You know what would be a better username on YouTube? JT from Illinois. I think you should change your name to JT from Illinois so I don't have to cuss on my stream every time.
Good stuff, Don't Give. Good to see you, buddy.
I love it. I love it. Going back to what you were talking about, we're 8 games into the season. We're still having these conversations. but the team is 7-1, and it's almost maddening. And we've talked a little bit about this off air, some on air. Like some of the fans are just keep saying this team is not a good football team. Like they're not a good football team. They're not satisfied. And my argument is always, well, it's not. You're not going to beat Georgia playing like this. You're not going to beat Vanderbilt playing like this.
Yeah, well, 5 years ago
thing.
you couldn't beat Kentucky or you couldn't beat these other teams on the schedule playing like this. I mean, my advice there would be don't forget where you came from. Okay, I mean, Josh Heupel is 34-13 at Tennessee. There were a lot of losses that should have been wins over the last decade plus before he got here. So again, yes, the offense needs to be better. They're penalized too much. They need to finish in the red zone. I hear you. To say this team's not a good football team, I mean, that's a little outrageous.
I think they're a really good football team. I think, the old cliche, good teams find a way to win. That's what this team does. And if the offense clicks, God, I feel like I should just replay our shows. Like, I feel like I could just plug in the fan call-in show from last week, plug in the Monday morning show, because it's the same conversations. But if you can't see, and it does encourage me, like you said about Nico, played his best game at Tennessee. I could maybe argue the Iowa game. But on the flip side of that, if those drops don't happen and he throws for over 400 and he has 3 touchdowns, that's a legendary. That's his best game ever at Tennessee. But is this team a good football team or not? I don't know, man. I don't know. Hold on. They're going nuts in the chat. David for 5 says penalties in the red zone have been kryptonite this year. That's like the first drive, right? The first drive that you were talking about. We have a Dylan Samson fumble, then we have a Nico fumble, we got another Dylan Samson fumble, then we miss a field goal to start this week, and it was set up. The miss was set up by John Campbell getting a holding call, made it a whole lot more difficult on Max Gilbert. Matt Morris for 2 says, shit, anyone check on Mincy? I would tweet him, but I'm not that kind of guy. Tim Rice, member for 20 months. We appreciate you, Tim. Don't give a chit for 10. Says, I'm not changing it. And then
Good
he says,
on you.
LOL, laugh out loud. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate the super chat. Penalties. That's another thing, right? It's another thing. Is it ever going to change under Josh Heupel?
No, don't even think that this team's going to somehow be in terms of penalties, a clean and disciplined team. Like it's never been the case for Josh Heupel's head coach. It's never been the case here at Tennessee. It's frustrating, and you're not good enough to overcome it. Tennessee was penalized hella much in 2022. Nobody knew about it because Tennessee was scoring 50 a game. Nobody cared. When points are hard to come by, those things stick out, obviously. So I don't see that changing anytime soon because that's just kind of who these teams are. It's very frustrating, though.
Do you think? I mean, I think Tennessee can win every game left on the schedule.
Yeah,
but somebody brought up a good point there that if Tennessee do they peak at the right time, and that's like baseball talk. That's like even basketball talk, and I think that can apply here when you get to the college football playoff. But Tennessee, they even this week, even against Kentucky, I think maybe the offense as a whole. Maybe the offense statistically didn't take a step. Nico took that big step this week. I have all the confidence in the world in Nico to go out there and perform week in and week out. Now, sometimes we forget he's a freshman, right? We 5-star quarterback, number 1 player in the country. Coach Jay in the chat now, he's been on this channel for 2 years singing he's the Polynesian prince and he's going to take us to the promised land. We set the expectations too high, but now we are starting to see, I think it's slowing down for him. Can Tennessee peak at the right time?
You mean fans had unrealistic expectations on a 5-star quarterback and $8 million NIL man? I mean, are you what?
Look, I'm the most optimistic guy in the world. Like, you don't think somebody nailed me. Grant Ramey saying I nailed his job at VolQuest. Somebody nailed me and said, you get on here every offseason and you hype everything up and you say we're going to go win this, that, and yeah, I know, man, because I love Tennessee football. And every single year before the season, I think it's going to be a magical, special year. But I also call it like I see it. I predicted 11-1, and I think this team can go 11-1.
Yeah. What was your question again?
Peaking at the right time.
Going
into the
really
Georgia
good.
game.
I think that's a really good way to look at it because the defense has been consistent all year long, and the run game has been consistent for the most part all year long, and the offense hasn't overall, but it feels like it's been getting better. So it's like, can you protect your own quarterback? Okay, well, they're starting to do a better job of protecting. Nico, can you eliminate the silly, stupid mistakes, and can you hit some receivers? Well, I mean, it's been a little bit better in that regard the last 2 games. I know he had that silly mistake against Alabama. He threw the ball exceptionally well against Kentucky the other night. Now it's kind of like whenever you go and you play Mississippi State, offense, can you just finish drives? And that's something the Tennessee offense hadn't done in the last couple of games. So can you still check this box, and get a little bit? I think I said this a couple of weeks earlier. can you get a little bit better every single week? And if you do, then that offense is going to be pretty good. And you couple that with this defense, then absolutely, I think that team will be peaking for sure. So, I mean, I've seen the offense get a little bit better every single week. It might not, you might still be frustrated that you're not scoring 70 points. I mean, I get it, but this offense has been getting a little bit better. But number one on the bingo chart this week, Boogie, they have got to finish drives. I'm going to continue to hound on this. You go 4 of 7 in the red zone. You're not beating Georgia. You're not beating anybody but Kentucky. I mean, that was very, very bad. So they've got to fix that.
Let me catch up with you guys in the chat. AGR 270's been a member for 2 years. Appreciate you, brother. Calvin becomes a member of the channel. See, I told you guys, I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. Thank you for not being a Florida fan. Calvin, if you were in the chat, I see some of you in the chat that don't have a power T. Are you a Georgia fan? Could mean that you're a Georgia fan. Good old Nate Pruitt for 5 says, cover charge Boogie. Howdy, Cainer. Howdy, Vols fam. God bless and go Vols. Always good to have Nate in the chat. UT Punkin for 5. You can almost guarantee that Campbell will cost us 2 drives a game every time we do something positive. He holds. I believe he is the most penalized offensive lineman. His hold, when I was doing a rewatch, his hold against right before that missed field goal, I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was kind of ticky-tack. Maybe that's just me. Donovan with a good question here. Donovan is a Florida fan because he doesn't have a power T beside his name. And this isn't a super chat, but
it's
I
wrong
like
what you're doing to them, Boogie. It's wrong.
I can never say anything about Donovan. The year that we were going to pretend to cover baseball on this channel, he rolled in here every freaking game and dropped like $100 super chat. So Donovan is a Talkin VAWLS member for life, and he's awesome in our Facebook group too, man. I like the way he interacts with people. He makes his own videos in our Facebook group, and I like Donovan. He is a longtime supporter of this channel. He says 19 touchdowns and 980 yards. When in the hell is Dylan Samson going to get some Heisman love? Love seeing him break the record, and I know everybody's already said this and everybody's already talked about it. I just love the way it went down. Like a guy that has carried your team, and now the team is pushing him, willing him into the end zone. I also love Miles Kitselman post game. I'm getting chills thinking about it right now when, he said, I will always block for you. And then talking about how I'm going to tell my kids I blocked for Dylan Sampson. And you could see the love and respect that Dylan Sampson had for Miles Kitselman saying that. Good stuff there. When is he going to get some Heisman love?
Well, first of all, Donovan, I hadn't seen you in the Rockets Out Rewind on Sunday nights in quite some time, man. I miss you.
Hey, he wasn't here last night. Don't blame me. He wasn't here either.
I miss you. No, I think that's everybody's saying do your job, tagging me and others. Do your job. Why aren't you talking about Dylan Sampson being in the Heisman race? First of all, that's not really our job, but I do think I'm going to broach that subject this week on my show because I mean, he's leading the SEC in rushing. Sure, he gets the ball every freaking play, but he's leading the SEC in rushing. 19 rushing touchdowns is not an easy feat. I mean, like, what more does he need to do? So that's an interesting conversation, and he says he should certainly be in that conversation. Now, will he win it? No, but the fact that he's not even in that conversation, like, it's a little bit of a head scratcher for me right now. The way he broke that record, the officiating, I've gone on my soapbox talking about the officials the last 2 weeks, and I'm not that 2 games. I'm not that guy, but this crew is abysmal. That crew is so bad.
Both ways. Both ways.
Both ways. Not just in favor of the other team. I mean, it was both sides for sure. I'm not sure who was worse. Was Tennessee worse at the end of the half there, or was it the officials? I mean, both were just forgettable performances.
Officials.
The fact that they let that play go, I'm shocked. Yeah, we can argue all day long, like, well, his forward momentum never stopped. Okay, how many football games have you watched where they let that play go? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it should have been stopped. It
should have been stopped. But to 100%. Your point, man, so awesome. Nico jumping in there, Stays coming in there, Javonte Spraggins on the ground getting up and pushing. I mean, that's cool. And somebody commented, I don't know if it was on the show last night or something. It was like an old school football record being broken an old school way. And I'm like, oh, I like that a whole lot. That was really, really cool.
I mean, a 95-year-old record. That's. Man, not only the record, but to do it with 4 games left in the season. I mean, that's
incredible.
Dylan Sampson's the man. Love me some D-Samp. Everybody loves some D-Samp. You mentioned right before the half, so I want to talk about it because I keep saying I'm going to talk about it and really never have got into it. Do you think that was poor clock management? I'm going to let you answer, and then we'll go back and forth if we disagree here. Do you think Josh Heupel mismanaged that situation? 30 seconds until the half. You pick up, 20, 25 yards on the first play, and then you go quick and run up to the line and snap it. A lot of people, you scroll into the general's quarters, that's a bad mistake on game day. They're saying you got to clock it right there. You got to spike it. You got to spike it.
Well, everything's a bad decision on game day, right?
Everything.
But to answer your question, 100%. And I'm not sitting here, I'm not a coach, I don't know everything, but I got opinions and I have a show, so I'm going to say them. Like, what the crap are you doing? Like, and sure, the D-Samp dump down pass, that was a missed spot. That should have been a first down. I hear you. I don't care if it was first, second, or third down. Go up to the football, spike the football, take a breath, okay? Let your coach talk to you, look to the sideline, say, hey guys, you good? We're gonna do this. Okay, if that's complete, we're gonna run to the line, we're gonna do that. I mean, like, take a breath, okay? Just because the clock stops on first down for a second or whatever that rule is, I guess it doesn't anymore, but like, doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you can't just spike it and take a breather. I don't know what the coaching point is there. They had no timeout, so were they going to get any points regardless? I don't know. It would have been challenging. I'm not saying that they left points out there because that would have been challenging, but 100% spike the football. Like, what on earth are you doing? And the officials were atrocious. Tennessee was atrocious. Yeah, I thought that was a really bad sequence. I don't know if that's Heupel. I don't know if that's Nico. I don't know if that's Cooper. I don't know. All I know is it was really bad, and that needs to be a coaching point 100% in film study.
So you're going spike the ball. Are you saying spike the ball every time? So it was three. You ran what, 3 plays, right? You had the throw on first down to Nimrod that went for 20. Are you clocking it there, or are you going quick and just trying to snap the ball and run another play?
After the Dylan Samson play, go spike it.
See, and again, officiating, right? I think they thought it was a first down. So to me, if you're not spiking it after the first one, right, then I'm not spiking it after the second one if it's a first down. But I think you have to have the realization of, all right, that's not a first down. We got to clock it. I agree with that. I just think, the official put the ball down and it was a clear first down. Then he picks it up and he walks it back 2 yards and sets it back down. So I think that created some confusion, but this is an ongoing conversation about Heupel and clock management.
Also, you have the umpire sitting there saying, hold on. Everybody's lined up. There's 2 seconds on the clock, right? Maybe they thought there was more, but 2 seconds, and as soon as the umpire blows his whistle, that clock's going, and you got guys standing around. Number one, you're in shotgun. Get your butt under center. Get the football and spike it. Like, what are we doing? So no one's ready to go. That's more the frustrating part about it. It's like, okay, does everybody know there's 2 seconds on the clock? And when this guy blows the whistle, the clock's going to start. So as soon as you blow the whistle, you need to be hitting the ground. Like, you need 1 second to run this play. It's just, again, I don't know whose fault it was, but that it was all bad. And again, were they going to get any points out of there? Probably not. But you weren't putting yourself in the best position to even try to, right? So I don't know. I just thought it was a really ugly sequence. And fans are booing going into halftime. Shoot, sure, boo the officials, but that was poor execution by your team. That was gross looking.
Yeah, I don't think it cost you any. You're looking at a Hail Mary, right?
Yeah,
but it's just maddening. It's like especially it made it worse that the officials were so disastrous that they're walking around having a conversation. It's like, so everybody knows. It's like, hey, guys, you got 2 seconds. We're going to start the clock on my whistle. You understand that, right? It's like they're walking around telling everybody, and then you still get caught with your pants down.
That's the frustrating thing. It's like everyone's not ready still. It's like, guys, what did you think was going to happen? Come on. So anyway,
it's just Heupel and clock management, ongoing conversation. How are we going to wrap this thing up? You want to talk a little Mississippi State? Is that even worth talking about, or do you want to talk about this Tennessee defense? You choose the final topic before we get you out the door.
It's a beautiful mind, dude. Look at my little notepad down there and all that. Dude, now I'll say this. Going into the Kentucky game, thought there was a lot of opportunity to run the football. Going into the Florida game, I thought there was a ton of opportunity to run the football, but nothing quite like this. They have given up over 600 yards of total offense twice this year. Let's see here. It was Arkansas that ran for 359 yards against Mississippi State. That was 2 weeks ago. Arkansas ran for 359. Okay. Earlier this year, it was Arizona State that ran for 346 against Mississippi State. They gave up 226 rushing yards to Florida by a country. The offense isn't horrendous. They do. They're towards the bottom of the league in standings and all that, but they do some things. But offensively, again, defensively, last in points per game, last in total defense, 15th to get the pass. They give up over 200 yards on average a game, 211. Yeah, it's just a really, really bad defense. So talking about trying to click at the right time and trying to, get right and all that, defense, continue to do what you're doing. Offensively, go get it, right? I mean, I think this is a go get it game for Tennessee's offense to really go out there and execute against a defense that's not very good. So continue to do what you're doing. Make Mississippi State 2-8 by the end of Saturday night, and you will be 8-1. And again, you're setting up for that showdown that we've been talking about all year long down in Athens. But don't sleepwalk through this Saturday. I still think you're good enough to win it, even if you're not at your best. But don't sleepwalk. And be thinking about next week. You gotta handle business here. So Mississippi State, not a good team. Defense, I'll wrap it up by saying this again. Like I wrote it, I'm just like, one could argue that was the poorest defensive performance of the season for Tennessee, and I'm like, well, wait just a second. Again, if you hold the opponent under 20 points, force 3 takeaways, 2 of which turn into touchdowns, like sign me up every single day of the week. Limit those chunk plays. Chunk plays were bad on first down all week. I kind of broke down some of the first down plays from Kentucky. They were bad on first down. But overall, they continue to step up and make plays when needed. Third quarter was huge. A couple of sacks there at the end was huge. I think I saw a stat. Gosh, okay, so Tennessee, tell me if I'm wrong here. Tennessee is 8 games into the year, and not one quarterback has finished the game, start to finish.
Jalen Milroe. I think Jalen Milroe is the only one.
Yeah, that's right. Jalen Milroe is the only one, but whether it be from blowout or whether it be from injury or getting banged up for a second or two, whatever, again, this Tennessee defense is just something fierce, and it's so much fun to watch. Your boy Willie B made another play. Should have stayed outside. He tried to cut inside, got hawked down, but your boy made another play, and that's always fun to watch. So I love this deep. What was your thought process when Willie B had that interception?
Well, this is what makes it even more funny. Is in the tailgate show we were talking about Will Brooks, and I said if he gets, because somebody said Will Brooks is going to get 2 interceptions tonight. I said if Will Brooks gets 2 interceptions tonight, then I'll buy a Will Brooks jersey. Like the authentic, real deal, like $300 jersey.
Yeah.
I almost had to buy a Will Brooks jersey.
Was it the first drive back in the end zone where he dropped? I mean, that would have been a heck of a play. Oh my, you're off the deflection, bobbling it. You got your feet right there. But you're right, man. You about had to buy a jersey for sure. He had a really good play. I think it was like a 3rd down screen or something where he just blew it up in the first half. He continues to play well, man. But I mean, I credit this staff. Me and Austin were talking about on the post game mini pod. It's like you look out there in critical situations of the game, and Jalen Smith's out there, and Christian Charles is out there, and Caleb Herring's out there, and we're like, is this the time in the football game where they should be out there? But we asked the staff to rotate guys for years, and they are doing it this year, and they're better for it, and it's really, really cool to see.
Answered Ribeye says, never wear the jersey of someone younger than you. Answered Ribeye doesn't want anybody to have any fun around here. He says, you can't, no fun for you. Boogie, can I wear an App State hat, Pantsuit Ribeye? Is that allowed? Defense. You talking about the defense, Will Brooks, all that stuff. Like, I thought this is where you were going to go when you were talking about knocking the quarterbacks out. Like, this is why, and it's the title of the stream is this team good or not? And that's me mocking people that don't think this is a good football team. No. And I get it. When you're offense, it's way more fun. Like when Josh Heupel got hired and he said, we're going to go out there, we're going to be explosive, we're going to make big plays. And we see that, man. Even that first year, it's like Tennessee won 7 games, but that was fun. And then 2022, it's like, man, that was fun. And then last year was not fun. It was like, oh my gosh, we're in cruise control. Can we just get this offense clicking? Enter Nico. Oh, it's going to be fun to be a Tennessee fan again. Nobody saw that this was going to be a defensive football team. Like we thought the defense could be good, but the stat I thought you were going to talk about was them holding teams under 20 points this deep into the season. The only other teams to do that are national championship teams. LSU 2003, Alabama in 2011, 2012, and Georgia in 2021. And I used to come on here and argue that this is an offensive game now. It's not about defense. Dang it, I think Tennessee's going to show that it is about defense. That is a special stat to be joining LSU, Bama twice, Georgia, and not allowing 20 points.
I mean, it's incredible, man. And, I understand that Tennessee's strength of schedule this year's not great. I get it. Oklahoma let you down. NC State let you down. I understand. But still, you're doing this in the Southeastern Conference. And that's so difficult to do. I mean, look at Indiana. Indiana, of course, everybody loves Indiana, 103rd strength of schedule. You kidding me? That's so bad. I mean, Texas, 54th strength of schedule. You got BYU. Everybody loves BYU right now, 61st. I mean, again, what Tennessee's doing right now is super impressive. And of course, their remaining strength of schedule, because Vanderbilt's pretty good this year and Georgia is 13th in the land. So it's all going to take care of itself. But yeah, the fact that you've held opponents to under 20 points for 9 straight games dating back to the Citrus Bowl, just phenomenal. I mean, it's incredible. And I'm having a blast this football season. Sure, we can sit here and we can be critical, and we can sit here and say, I mean, I've been critical about a couple of things in this appearance already this morning, but like, you're still having a ball. I love covering this team. This team is fun. This team's got good players. This team's got good guys, good coaches. They've got a great defense. I'm having a blast because being around a winning football team, it makes everything better. Our business is much better, Boogie. You know that, but just going to work every single day. So, yeah, I think this team is capable of winning every game on their schedule. I think this team is capable of making some noise in the college football playoffs, no doubt. And if this team can if this team can get there offensively, gosh, man, this might be the best team in the country for sure, because that defense has been holding the torch all year long.
Agree 100%. David for 2 says Boo's reaction to him going inside was hilarious. Yeah, and then they asked him about it afterwards, which was funny too. Yeah, good stuff, man. Look, I love seeing Will Brooks have success. Yeah. I have created Talkin VAWLS civil war in the chat over whether or not you should wear a jersey. They are arguing back and forth. It is a free country. You're a man. They should look up to you. Pants-eared ribeyes on the warpath. Goodness gracious, I didn't have that on the bingo card this morning. World War III over. I hope I don't get demonetized for saying World War III. It's a weird time. Can't wait for the election tomorrow that's happening during my live stream. The election and the college football playoff being released, all while I'm live.
You're going live tomorrow night during the announcement? Not the presidential, during the college football playoff rankings?
Yeah, it'll be me and my dog. That's who will be hanging out.
Look, man, you're a brave soul.
Why not? Everybody's going to be live. Everybody's going to be covering that. And I'm going to be like, watch me go for it on 4th and 2 from my own 6. Like, that's what I'm going to be doing. Look, but here's the deal. I always tell them, you turn that on your TV, you turn me on the cell phone, and we'll talk about it. We always play video games on Tuesday night. That's what we do. I'm stupid. I'm dumb. Why would you play video games on a Tuesday night? I dare you to pop in and watch the chat, and you'll find out why we play video games and hang out on a Tuesday night.
Since I'm just taking over the show, because clearly I'm in charge, how many jerseys do you have right now?
I'm really not a jersey guy. Like, I have a Nico jersey because I wanted it, and I love the Condridge Holloway throwbacks from when Ainge and Schaefer were quarterback. So when they brought out the Smoky Gray, I was like, I'm buying that jersey. Pants-eared ribeye. I know you're joking. I'm just having a good laugh too. I'm not a jersey guy. Like the last jersey I bought prior to that was probably, it might have been back when Ainge was playing. That might have been the last time I bought a jersey. So it's been a hot minute. Like I have like a Peyton Colts jersey. I have an Eli Manning Giants jersey. I've got a Darryl Green Redskins jersey. That's right. I said Redskins again.
Commanders.
Chris Cooley. I've got a Chris Cooley Redskins jersey. But that tells you how long, like, I'm not really a jersey guy. I
mean, I had a bunch of jerseys when I was little. Now that I'm an adult, I have some baseball. Like, I went to a Rays game a couple years ago, and I bought a black Devil Rays jersey. Devil Rays, because it was just so sick. I don't think I've worn it one time, but I've got it in the closet. I have a Freddie Freeman jersey, which I will never wear anymore. But when we go to games, I give it to my wife, and she wears it. I got an Austin Riley jersey, but again, she wears that normally. I've got a custom Atlanta Braves World Series champion patch. Braves jersey, but it's got my name on the back and my football number. So when I go to Braves games, I wear that. But I'm kind of like you, man. I used to be a huge jersey guy. Nothing wrong with it. I just not much anymore. But I wear the one with my name on it because I mean it says Cainer on it. So technically it's my nickname. I think it's pretty cool.
That's funny. You mentioning Austin Riley made me laugh because I'm a Braves fan, but I only watch Tennessee football. I don't lose sleep over Braves games. But because of Austin Riley, when my wife was pregnant with our oldest daughter, we were like, oh, it's going to be a boy. We're going to have a boy, and we're going to name him Austin Riley Bentley. That was going to be his name, Austin Riley. So when Austin Riley signs with the Braves, I was like, I'm buying you that jersey. So my wife has the T-shirt jersey of Austin Riley just because that's an inside joke between us. Never wears it, but yeah. She owns it.
That's
anyway,
cool. That's awesome, man.
I think it's a funny story, and nobody gets it. Nobody understands why she's wearing it, but the two of us get it, and that makes it fun. Man, talking. What are we talking jerseys? Talking jerseys on a Monday morning with Cainer. We'll get you out the door here. I always say 30 minutes. You asked me, if I wanted to do 30 minutes on your show last week. And I was like, of course, because then my hater, Green Wave, can come in the comment section and talk about how you need to let all these other people on the show come on, all the other people that copied what I do and pretend that it's original. Yeah, get those guys on the show. So I would love to do a full show. I have no problem. Green Wave loves it too. But why am I this way? Why am I this way?
Why are you the way that you are?
Why am I this way? What do you got coming up on Locked On Vols and VolQuest.com this week?
Yeah, still looking back at the win over Kentucky, looking ahead to Mississippi State. Really, spoilers, really bad football team, but can't sleepwalk through it. Just thinking about Georgia. Every single game is a playoff game where you're at right now. So that, breaking all that down, talking a little recruiting as well. I said it earlier. I think I'm gonna look at that subject of Dylan Samson, the Heisman. Why is he not being considered? I'll look at his odds, see how far down the list he is. Discuss, make my pitch that he should be in that conversation for sure because he's having a heck of a year. And again, just every single day, 30 minutes or less, Locked On Vols. It's a really good football team. It's a fun football team. This is a good football team. It could be great. Will it be great? We'll see, but it's a pretty daggone good football team right now, and they're winning games. So all that and more, VolQuest.com, and of course in the Locked On Vols podcast.
Go sub him up. I think everybody that shows up on Monday mornings and Friday mornings are all subscribed to both channels, but if you're not, go subscribe to Locked On Vols and go check out VolQuest.com. Kaner, it's always a good time talking Vol football, talking jerseys, talking coffee, talking haters, whatever we want to get into. Appreciate it, brother. We'll catch up on Locked On Vols Friday morning.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
All right, let's see. Let's do a little plugs and chills. We got about 300 people watching on this Monday morning. If you haven't, smash the thumbs up. Smash the thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. I kind of quit saying that. Y'all used to get mad at me for saying it so much, so I kind of dropped it, and now we don't get as many thumbs up. So do me a favor, smash that thumbs up. It does help the channel. Go check out the Talkin Vols merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin Vols. I love this new State Pride 2.0. I say this on every shirt, though. Every shirt that Kevin does comes out looking so clean. But if you click on the design, look, you can go click on whatever you want. You can get a tank top, whatever color you want. You can kind of customize it. So it's not just what shows on the main page. We got long sleeve T-shirts, women's tank tops. I love these. If you like the baseball style 3/4 shirts, these look clean. I like them. But again, the link is in the description. If you're like Coach Jay and you can't remember it, but it is bonfire.com/store/Talkin Vols. All kinds of fun designs. Again, Kevin does a great job, man. He nails these. If you're in the chat and you never say anything, you're a lurker. We got a shirt for you in the Animal House font, but it also says Talkin Vols Network. All kinds of good stuff. Go check it out. And shout out to the members of the channel. I think you guys get that it's a joke, but it is funny. If you don't have a Power T beside your name, they say you're a Florida Gator fan. Look, it helps keep this channel going. Ad revenue does nothing. It is all for the fans, by the fans, and I say this all the time. It's fan funded. There is no Monday morning show. There is no Friday morning show. A lot of videos wouldn't be made if it wasn't for the members of the channel. That's what gives me the opportunity to do this full time. I'm grateful for every single member, every single person, whether they give $1 or at the top level at $35. I am grateful for the support. It allows me to get on here and continue to grind, continue to hustle, and continue to try to build what I think is the best freaking community for Tennessee Vols football. Period, point blank. Look, other people are chasing me down, tracking me down. They're going to end up with more subscribers, and that's great. They work hard at what they do, but I don't think anybody has the community that we have. They may have a great college football live chat. There may be Florida fans, Georgia fans, Alabama fans. I don't want that. I want Tennessee fans, and we can argue, we can disagree, we can celebrate the victories, and we can get through the losses together. I think we've got the best freaking community for Tennessee football right here on the Talkin Vols Network, and I will freaking argue with anybody if they think otherwise. Let me catch up with you guys. Darren Rutledge said, Boogie, hold on a second. He said, Boogie, hold on a second. I'm not a Florida fan. Let me fix that. Let me hit the join button and let me become a member of the channel. So shout out, Darren. We appreciate that, brother. Thank you for that support. Sean Cross for 2 says, running late. See you Tuesday night, Boogie. Bring it on, Sean Cross. See, Kaner's saying I shouldn't stream on Tuesday because the college football playoff rankings dropping. I have to stream on Tuesday. I can't make it through the week without Tuesday night. Those streams hit different. They're so much fun. They're laid back. That's when we talk about community. Like, that's community. That Tuesday night show is building the community, man. We hang out. We talk about everything. It's not just Vol football. That's why it's such a beautiful thing. I love Tuesday nights. So pull up the college football playoff rankings release on your TV. Pull up the stream on your phone, and we'll hang out. I'm going to be watching too. I'm going to have it pulled up so I can keep an eye on it and see those rankings as they come out, and we'll kind of talk about it as we play a little EA Sports College Football. And then the freaking elections Tuesday night. A lot of people are going to miss for that. I get it. It's a huge election, but there's only one vote, and that's Boogie and Dauber in 2024. See what you guys are up to. Brandon Coleman says, love it, Boogie. Happy to be a new member. I'm finally not a Gator fan. I love it. Yeah, big Tennessean. I get it. I have no control. That's a bonfire thing. And if you watch, I don't know that they ever do big and tall sizes, but if you watch, sometimes different styles have different sizes. I think it might just depend on what they have in stock at the time. Let's see what else. Dan Porter says, best damn channel on YouTube. I appreciate that. And that's in a large part because of you guys. You guys make this channel what it is. Todd says, put that Power T beside your name line on a t-shirt. We got to get a Coach J, you're muted shirt made first. Got to get a Coach J, you're muted. Robert says the best. Nelson's going to be here on a Tuesday night. Nelson, when are we going to play head-to-head on a Tuesday night? When are we good? I think T-Bird says Tuesday nights are special, needs to be its own shirt. I think we're going to be, I think when we should do is Tuesday nights or Boogie Nights. I like that. And maybe we copy the Boogie Nights font. Wesley's been a member for 2 years, man. Thank you for that support. We appreciate it. 2 years of consistent support of this channel. That means a lot. So I appreciate that. Michelle wants a one more thing shirt. You want the O in one to be Dauber's emoji? One more thing? Maybe we need to do those. Something that everybody says. Coach J, his emoji, his shirt is you're muted. Dauber's shirt, one more thing, has his emoji for the O. I have the DJ Boogie design. Kevin has sent it to me, but I just don't know that people would buy it. I don't know how many DJ Boogie shirts we would sell. For sure do the Boogie Night shirt. Where's Kevin at? You notice Kevin's never in the chat anymore because every time he shows up in the chat, he's got to do work. He's got to create a shirt. Maybe that's why Kevin's never here anymore. My own brother doesn't show up in the chat because I always make him work. X says, like I said. Oh, man. Y'all got them all. Dauber, listen. But the funny thing is when there's crossover, Dauber says listen so much that now everybody else says it. Oh, no. Kevin's lurking. He should have kept his mouth shut. We need a Coach J shirt that says you're muted, Kevin. You're muted. It just says you're muted with the Talkin VAWLS network underneath it. And the O in your is Coach J's emoji. And we need a Tuesday nights or Boogie Nights, and maybe look at the Boogie Nights movie poster and see if we can steal from that somehow. Y'all seeing how the process goes down. Big Trey for 2 says, Dorfy, shout out Big Trey. We appreciate you, brother. Bad Quality's been a member for 14 months. Thank you for that. And then he also drops a $5 super chat. We appreciate that. Thank you, Bad Quality, for the super chat, but also for being a member for 14 months. Randall Perry drops a 20 spot. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
Randall says it wasn't that long ago. I was hoping we would just be competitive again. We are winning games. We are 7-1. Is it flashy? No. But we are finding ways to win games. Tennessee has lost over the past 2 decades. Love your show, Boogie. Thank you, Randall. I appreciate that. Very generous super chat. And I agree 100% with what you said. And, Kaner kind of said that a little bit earlier. Kaner talked about how, remember where this team was at. Remember where this team came from. How many games did Tennessee play? And it's like, man, they should have won that game, but they shot themselves in the foot, so they lost. You can't do that. You can't struggle in the red zone. You can't turn the football over in the red zone. You can't miss 3 field goals because you lose games when you do that. But this team does all that, and they find a way to win, and we come and argue about it after the game, and we say, well, you can't blow Kentucky out if you shoot yourself in the foot. You can't blow Alabama out. You can't blow Florida out if you shoot yourself on the foot. Like the only game we have is Arkansas. Like that's the one game. That's it. The stat I just mentioned about the defense, not giving up 20 points this deep into the season. You're in elite company there. When you talk about that 2003 LSU team, 2011, 2012 Bama teams, 2021 Georgia. Only 4 teams in the history have done that, and they all 4 won national championships. Now, is Tennessee going to go win a national championship? I don't know. I'm not saying they are. I'm saying they can. If the offense clicks, if the offense puts it together and keeps it together, that's the thing. They can't just go out against Mississippi State and put up 700 yards and put up 60 points and think that it's all figured out. You got to do it week in and week out. You got to do it against Georgia on the road. That's a tall task. I'll talk about this team, people. The immediate response is, oh, you think they can beat Georgia? Yeah, I do think they can beat Georgia. Will they? I don't know. We'll find out. Scott Bennett says, dang it, I missed almost all of it. Monday morning meetings suck. Monday morning meetings do suck. But you didn't miss it all. We just, me and Cain went extra long. We're just now getting warmed up, boys. We're just now getting ready to fire up the Josh Heupel post-game press conference. I've not even listened to it yet. This is what we do on Mondays. Even though we're 50 minutes in, we're still going to do it. We're still going to fire it up. You guys want to keep supporting the channel. You guys want to change the topic, drop a super chat. We appreciate it. If you don't have a Power T beside your name, think about fixing it. Hit that join button. Make that dollar commitment. Make that dollar commitment. We would appreciate it. If not, smash the thumbs up. That's easy. You can do that. There's no reason why you can't hit the thumbs up. I get it. And I always say, if you don't have the money, always take care of family, always take care of bills, always take care of everything else. Then if you want to donate to the channel, donate to the channel. All right, let's listen to what Josh Heupel said post-game.
Awesome environment again tonight. Crowd, huge part of the night, man. And, excited about the win. Don't take any of those for granted. Still a lot left out for us. Just starting fast. Offensively, special teams putting it through the uprights, all of the combination, the turnovers, penalty sacks on the plus side of the territory. Some of the shots were close on. I mean, it's just felt like we practiced really well. We're continuing the game. We got to put all the pieces of the puzzle together to go play our best football. And it's never going to be perfect either. But again, excited about the win. But there's a lot of things that we can improve upon. So open it up.
He's got to be frustrated. Heupel has to be frustrated. And it's like, it's little things, but they're making a big impact on the game, right? Just catch the football. Like, it's pretty dang simple. Keep it simple, stupid. What do we need to do better? Don't drop touchdowns. Okay, I'll try to work on that. Like, just go make plays, man. Just go make plays. Missed field goals. Like, Heupel has to be frustrated. He knows how good his defense is, and I think he knows how good his offense is. I would be interested to see what this team looks like in practice. Are these same mistakes happening in practice? Are guys dropping passes in practice? When Nico looked, I'm going to say rattled. Coach Shea can disagree with me. We can talk about confidence, agree, disagree. I don't know. Nico looked rattled at times after the Oklahoma game, after the Arkansas game, didn't look comfortable. Now, to be fair, Heupel's now rolling him out of the pocket, setting him up for success. Maybe that's playing into it. But I would like to see this team in practice and see if these same mistakes are taking place in practice. And everybody, like, I see the comments. I see Aaron talking about Mike Leach kicker contest. Like, I get it, man. The kicker goes out and misses 3 field goals. Everybody's talking about him. Everybody's questioning him. Everybody's saying he sucks. He's been good. He's been almost automatic until this game. He's been almost automatic till the Kentucky game. Somebody said, oh, he sucked the last 2 games. No, he hasn't. He has only missed from 50 yards or more until Kentucky. Now, the question is, kickers are head cases. How does he respond after going out and missing 3 field goals? How does he respond to that?
Rob and David.
Coach, just Nico looked like he played with a lot of confidence. Did you feel like you kind of saw it?
He did. I thought he played with great confidence, great poise. Made plays when it presented themselves. Was close on some deep balls down the football field. We're close, man. I thought he saw things really well. So, all in all, really, really good command and presence from him throughout the course of the night.
Josh, as a follow-up to that, the 28 of 38, the 38 attempts, did that surprise you, and what dictated such a high number of attempts for him tonight?
Some of it's, just what that they're giving you, and situational football can dictate that too. And end of the night, he gave us an opportunity to move the football.
Adam, then Paige.
Josh, a whole bunch of playoff contending teams lost tonight. What's the key to pulling out wins in November when you're not playing your absolute best?
Man, I don't know who those teams are. Every week is its own season. You got to be good enough to go win on that Saturday and play all three phases together. But you have to play smart football. Some of the penalties that we're in control of them, there's going to be some playing penalties. Like, that's just the nature of the game, playing hard. The things that we control, we got to be better in. You got to tie it all together with special teams. Some things we did well tonight. Some things we got to be a lot better in. And, offensively, the turnovers, you can't have those. And they're never good in the red zone. Well, they're never good on the minus side of the territory either. So you just can't do it. We got to be better in some of those things. Practice well the last couple of weeks. We're gaining. It's just we got to put the pieces of the puzzle all together.
A little bit more on decals.
I like hearing him talk about penalties and like in-play penalties and how that's just playing hard. It's part of the game. It happens, but there's things you got to do better. Something that's driving me insane is lining up offsides. Like even like James Pierce jumping offsides, I get what he was doing because you could see he was 100% looking at the play clock, and he knew the play clock was about to hit 0, and he was like, this is either going to be a delay of game or I'm going to freaking time this snap perfectly. And it was close, and it almost like I didn't go back and rewatch to see if it was actually a delay of game or not, but that's something that the booth can review. I think he was just trying to time it up and got caught off sides. But the lining up off sides is maddening. I think it was Tyree West this week, but it's not just this week. It has been an ongoing thing for this defensive line. Even going back to last year, they did it a lot. Like, I don't understand that. That's a free 5 yards for absolutely no reason. Why are you lining up offsides? I get it. Oh, I'm trying to get an advantage. I'm trying to make a play. I get it. Let's line up on sides. Let's not give away a free 5 yards. It drives me nuts. And then lining up incorrectly on offense. Why are you covering up a receiver? You have to know better. And I was listening to Hubs talk about it, and he said that he thought that was one of the plays where maybe it was AP talking about how they were going so dang fast at that time that the wide receivers didn't even have time to check and see if somebody was covered up. But it's little mistakes like that are maddening. I get it. Holding is maddening. Nate and Rocky Top Tom will freak out about the offensive line and holding. That's guys trying to make plays, and I get it. It's frustrating. It drives me nuts too. But just the simple things like lining up properly, like that, there's no excuse for that. We got to be better. We got to be better at that.
Boys that you're talking about, how about that touchdown pass to Miles Goodson where he's rolling to his right and kind of throws across and behind his body? How did that exemplify that composure?
Player making a play. Understanding all the traffic that's going on the backside of it too. So it's a big time play by him.
Patrick, then Ben.
Josh, what do you say to Max on a night like this where he's struggling? He's got, I think, 5 minutes in the past 2 games. You talk too much, or you kind of let him work it out on his own?
Here's a smart play every time.
Without a ad courtesy of VolQuest.com. But I do appreciate the feed being up.
Right now.
I do have confidence in him. He's got to find a way to start faster during the course of the football game. He's kicked it extremely well up until the last couple of weeks. Hit a big one late against Bama too. Kicked it well in practice. The routine, getting re-warmed up after coming in the locker room, whatever it might be. We just got to get him into the flow of it. And, because of some of what we've done offensively, it's not like he's had chip shots to start it out either, But he's good enough and confident enough to go put it through the uprights too. So got to keep pushing.
Josh, I'll ask you about all 3 of your running backs. What do you see from Dylan Samson bouncing back? Do you have an update on Bishop, and what do you see from Lewis there?
I don't have an update on Bishop. D-Sam, just an elite night. Obviously wants the fumble back. But hard yards, hitting the hole, playing with pad level, solid night from him. And Peyton ran really well. He really did. And young guy just continues to keep coming on. And like I said early in this thing, that every position, but the running back group, like it can't just be one guy. You're going to need him throughout the course, and got to get Cam back and fully ready to go and just healthy, and hopefully Deshaun will be ready, and keep pushing those guys. So.
John.
That is interesting because, again, my Monday morning routine is to come down here about 2.5 hours prior to the stream. I pull up the Rocky Top Rewind from VolQuest. I listen to that. I look at stats. I look at numbers. I put together some stuff for the show. And listening to the Rocky Top Rewind, they were talking about Cam Seldon because obviously DSamp comes out, gets benched. Some people say we've had that conversation. Some people say that's not what happened. Deshaun Bishop gets hurt, gets banged up. So you're thinking Cam Seldon, next man up. Nope. Even Coach Jay going into the game was like, I want to see Cam Seldon. And you get Peyton Lewis, which I was excited about. I think Peyton Lewis is going to be a really good football player for Tennessee. So I was excited to see him get out there, get some run, get a touchdown. But their conversation on the Rocky Top Rewind was about Cam Seldon, and they said looking like a red shirt here, that he's played in 4 games already. So it could be looking like a red shirt. And then it was kind of weird the way it was worded. Like, what does his future look like? And then I'm thinking, all right, and maybe I'm like, maybe I read the room wrong, heard it wrong, whatever. It's like, is he transferring? Like he wants to redshirt so he has an extra year wherever he's going. And then, and again, maybe I read that wrong, and maybe they're just talking about he's looking to redshirt him. And now Josh Heupel says it's going to take a full room, got to have a full room of running backs, got to get Cam Seldon back and healthy. I don't know what's going on. I'm forming 10 full conspiracy theories right here live on air. Is Cam Seldon really hurt? Does Cam Seldon want to transfer? What is going on? For the fans, by the fans. I'm not saying Cam Seldon is transferring, but I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Like what Hub said, what they said on the Rocky Top Rewind doesn't line up with what, like, if he's hurt, he's hurt, and they should know that. Do they know something that we don't know? They have inside connections. Obviously, they have connections right to the freaking coaching staff. So if Coach Heupel's saying that Cam Seldon is hurt and we got to get him back healthy because we need a room full of running backs, what is going on? Why am I so confused? All right, let's hear more.
In the very back.
Josh Dillon breaks the single season touchdown record there, but all 10 guys help him get across the line there. Just what does that say about the unselfishness of this team?
I think that's a demonstration of just how hard they're playing and finishing the play. DSamp, that's an old record, I think, and pretty special one. But I said it in the locker room too, is, we recognize some of the guys with, big plays, the turnovers on defense, that type of thing. Running backs don't get to do that unless they got 10 other guys doing their job too. And, it's a credit to everybody, starting with the 5 guys up front, the tight ends, and, perimeter blocking and quarterback too. So DSamp's the first guy that would say that too. So end of the day, it was a special moment for him and some of the guys, but a lot left out there for us too.
Jimmy, then Mike.
You notice he keeps going back to that, just saying there's a lot left out there for us. Oh my gosh, it's Groundhog Day. So close, so close. Massive chaos. You say that as if it's fact. You're speaking in an absolute. Do you have anything to add to my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory that I just created live right here on air? Do you have anything to add to that, or are you just speculating? Because the thought had not even crossed my mind until all of that conversation. I just thought it was very strange.
Josh, your last touchdown drive, Nico came out with 3 completions, and he converted 2 3rd and 7s, and he was playing with a lot of confidence. And I wonder if that gives you more confidence. You just open the playbook up for him. Yeah,
I don't feel like the playbook hasn't been open. I'm not sure that's the right way to verbalize it. At the situational football,
like understanding the scheme, all 11 matchups, like it all goes into, how we play the game. But, we got great trust in Nico, and man, quarterback's not a position of perfect. It's just not. He's a young player that continues to get better with every play. You guys heard me say that before the season. But his competitive makeup and ability to make plays and, be a good decision maker back there. He had a great night, man, and he's played a lot of really good football. Good news for him and for us is his best football still in front of him.
Pretty good pusher, too.
Yeah. I'm not sure he had the most important part of that push. But, yeah.
Eric did, Ben.
I'm sure you guys preach complimentary football all the time. As a coach, how rewarding is it to see those two takeaways lead to 2 touchdowns in the second half?
Yeah, big part of the the outcome of the football game. Brooks, big time play and just overall defensively, second half played really good football. Offensively, able to take advantage of it and go finish some drives off. So, big part of finishing the game the right way and keeping us on the right side of the scoreboard.
Josh, what do you think about Miles bouncing back from his Alabama game and what do you think of the tight ends overall?
I thought there were some really positive things. There's some things that, they'd want to finish on, you know what I mean? So some plays on the perimeter and, we're illegal formation, you know what I mean? There's some little things like that we're in control of that we can be better. But all in all, I mean, they played and strained hard in the core, made some plays in the pass game. It was a good night.
All right. Thank you, Coach. We'll have players.
Short and sweet and to the point. I think Heupel knows he's got a good football team. I think he knew that going into the year. Seemed like he had a different mindset or a different attitude, like a chip on his shoulder. I think he knew he had a good defense, and I think he thought his offense was really good too. Again, I wish I could sit in on practice and see what was going on. See if these same mistakes are happening in practice. Sean for 2 says, "You want to play Bama versus LSU or IGA versus Tebs?" What? I don't care, Sean. I will pick off of you. But if you want, that's kind of fun. That's kind of a fun idea. Play a big game coming up that week. I'm not mad at that idea. Whatever you want to do, man. Whatever you want to do. You're the boss. You're in charge. I'm 172-2 against you. So the least I could do is let you pick who you want to play with. All right. That's the Monday morning live stream. Always a good time drinking a little coffee. I'm on my second energy drink of the day. Got a long day ahead of me. Going to try to make a video later today. Actually here coming up in about an hour or so. So be looking for that. Not sure which one yet. I got 2 videos in mind. I got to talk a little recruiting. Also want to talk about college football playoff implications and some nonsense that is being spewed out there by ESPN. We may get into that here in just an hour or 2. So be on the lookout for that. But that is going to do it. Smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the merchandise. Shout out to everybody that became a member of the channel today. I appreciate that. Those memberships give me the confidence, man. Look, I've got imposter syndrome. Sometimes I finish a live stream. I'm like, how in the world do I get to do this for a living? And it's stressful. And it's when it all relies on you and the support from you guys in the chat. So I appreciate every single person that supports what we do around here, that supports through memberships or super chats or sharing out streams, retweeting, word of mouth. You guys are, man, y'all are my boss. You guys are why I get to do this. So I'm grateful for all the support. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go big.